All right, it is Tuesday, January 4th. Yep, January 4th. So we got all the stud work up on both walls. You can kind of see the south wall behind me and the north wall up there. We had to do a little electrical work. We're going to be running some new wire. And then we got there. So basically yesterday I started drywalling this wall and got these lower sheets up. And then my buddy Blake here, wave hi Blake. My buddy Blake's helping us, the goodness of his heart. And then hopefully when we get all this stuff built in and everything, we get things rolling, we can kind of show Blake how we do some other stuff and he can jump in on the actual growing part of it. And, you know, at least learn how to do stuff for himself as far as like growing greens indoors or mushrooms or helping us and working with us or maybe start his own business. But in the meantime, we gotta get this finished. So he helped me put up this top drywall up here. And then we're starting on this wall over here where you see him at. We're gonna keep working our way this way with the longer 8-foot panels. And then we'll come back right across here. Now, I'm well aware, people will be like, that's not how you do drywall. Yes, I know the panels are supposed to go horizontal. I know you're supposed to stagger the seams. If this was our house, that's what I would be doing. Because basically when you stagger the seams, you don't get, if you get a crack where your seam is at, you, the crack could follow the whole seam. So if you had a seam all the way across here and you got a crack right here, it could just go left and right. But if you were able to stagger the seams like brickwork, like that, then cracks would form and then they would end up stopping where the next solid panel is. So you're less likely as the house settles and everything and moves, it doesn't crack drywall seams. This is not a load-bearing wall. This is basically a cosmetic wall. All it is to cover up the brick to keep our grow space sanitary and the dust from brick and mortar from getting onto our edible plants. And that brick wall right there is not insulated, so it's basically a huge heat sink. So all this heat that we're putting in here from the vents and from the furnace is leaching right into that wall and right outside. It's basically getting sucked right through that brick wall to the colder outside. Heat flows from high to low. That's a cold surface. It's going to pull heat out of the room. We wanted to get some insulation up here anyway so that we can, you know, try to manage our heating and cooling costs. But we also needed to do a cosmetic wall. And so that's what we did. Now we got the drywall on. Again, so this is not load bearing. I'm not worried about it cracking and heaving and all that stuff and cracking the seams. If it does crack the seams, then I'll run some mud on it and repaint it. Not a big deal. This is the most economical way for us to run the drywall and the easiest with one person because during the week, my wife and I work separate shifts and I don't always have a person to help me, so I have to be able to get some of this up myself. And I don't really want to be lifting 8-foot panels up here, trying to hold them and screw them in and all that stuff, because I don't know exactly when I'll always have help. So this way I can just sit them on the floor, level the panel out, flop it up there, pop a couple screws, and then just work my way down the line. Another thing, I know somebody out there's gonna be like, good Lord, man, you're gonna have the screws in that wall. You only need them like once every foot, 18 inches. True, very true. 100% agree with that, if this was a normal wall. However, we are gonna do a blown-in insulation. That means we're gonna cut a hole in here, up there, and then we're gonna use a blown-in like attic insulating machine to blow the insulation behind this wall. All right. Now, after watching a lot of YouTube videos, we rented one of those machines and did our attic in our previous house. after watching a few videos about doing it in the walls, I realized that we're using a thinner drywall. Again, this is a cosmetic wall, not a load-bearing wall, not a fire stop wall. So we're using a thinner drywall, and we're also going to be pressurizing these wall cavities when we're putting the insulation in there. So if it's not securely fastened, what's going to happen is it's going to want to take, let me try to zoom out here. It's going to want to try to take this wall panel where it's pressurized and push it out. And that's going to pull the screw heads right, it's going to pull the drywall right over the screw heads. And now you got a floppy loose panel, and that's a whole nother issue. And then it's all the insulation is packed here, so when you try to push it back in, it doesn't want to go in. So what I did is I was like, look, my time is more valuable than a box of screws. So we ran screws every 6 inches. That's probably way overkill, but I don't have to worry about this thing getting pressurized too much and then it popping off the screw heads. The screw heads won't pop off, the drywall will just pull out, push out, the screw heads will pull through the drywall. And that's what we don't want. So I chose to do screws every 6 inches on every border and every seam. And people can be like, that's overkill. Well, guess what? I won't have to do it again. in case we overpressurize one of these cavities. I'm more concerned about that. But all in all, this wall is done. I got a little boo-boo down there to fix. Oops. I didn't cut that wide enough, and I didn't see it until I was actually fastening the wall on. So I'll just come back through here with the roto zip, trim that out, push it back in, put a little mud around it, everything will be good. Same thing with this wall. We leveled out that first panel that Blake's working on, and we're going to try to get a few more panels. We'll try to get a few more panels on today, and then we got to clean this place up. You can kind of see it. I got tools and stuff all over the place. All this stuff needs to go out of here so that tomorrow the dry ice blaster is going to be here. Gentleman's going to drop it off, help me set it up, show me a couple of tips and tricks on how to run it, watch me do a couple test passes, make sure I got a handle of it. Then I am going to go to town on that ceiling. So we're gonna basically sandblast all that paint off with high pressure dry ice crystals. And you can go on YouTube and just search dry ice blasting ceiling panels or metal ceiling or whatever, and you can kind of educate yourself on all that. I just educated myself about it a few days ago and decided that that's how we're going to get that paint on. It just makes the most sense. Unfortunately, we can't afford to have somebody do it for us, so we found somebody who would rent us the machine graciously, so we really appreciate that. It's going to cost us way less, but again, I have to spend the time and the effort doing it, which I don't mind, given that it saves us a considerable sum of money. And it'll make that ceiling absolutely perfect. We won't have anything more to worry about. So, all right, we're going to get to running a few more panels before we have to kind of shut this down for the day and start getting all this stuff cleaned up, because I don't want anything in my way. Once I start sandblasting the ceiling, or dry ice blasting the ceiling, I don't want anything in the way of the scaffold as I'm kind of rolling around on it. So that's our progress. Corinne got the layout ready for the mop sink, which is going to go in this corner here. Drywall's in the way. We got the drywall cut out so we can get plumbing run in the wall. So we have hot and cold for the faucet here, and then we'll have a drain that we have to cut in. This is where the commercial dishwasher is going to go. It's going to stand about yay tall. That's for washing Crin's microgreen trays and some of my mushroom equipment, it'll basically do a full cycle with sanitation in 90 seconds. So we've got a power outlet there, but that needs to be changed out. And this, let's see, there's something going here. I'm trying to think what it is. Oh, this is this is our no, we're not. Oh, no, I'm confused. Oh, this is this sink right here. Just a general wash sink. It's about 3 feet long-ish. That's where this tape is marked. This is where we need to bring the water up, right here, from the basement in the wall cavity. So I'll have to cut from here to here, pull that out, run the water up from the splice below. So, and then that's good. And I think this is all open here. We're going to have drop down shelves, basically, like work surfaces that will fold up against the wall when they're not in use. And then we're down. There'll be stainless steel sheeting on the work surface, and then we can kind of take things. Corinne can set her microgreen trays out on here, do her dirt and stuff, and then she can, the sink there, she can just slide them down, and we can put a stainless steel grate over the sink, pull those trays over on top of them, and then she can use the sprayer, garden head sprayer, just to kind of wet that soil down and put them in the racks. And then we start moving back into this area. But that's the plumbing that we've got laid out and the layout we've got laid out here. We've got all the electrical we need on this wall. We don't even need to mess with that, except I think we need to put a GFCI on this one here. And obviously that one, because the dishwasher is going to plug in there. We got to put a GFCI in that one, and then regular outlets from there, because the whole line comes up from the basement right there and goes across. All right, so that's it in a nutshell. That's Tuesday, and tomorrow maybe I'll take a little bit of video of the dry ice blasting, and we'll publish that. But I have a very limited time window to get that done, so I can't be screwing around. Time is money in that case. Time is a lot of money in that case. So once we get going, we got to keep going. So I'll try to sneak in a little video, but there's not going to be much on that process. But it'll kind of give you an idea of what it looks like and how it works. And then the rest of the week, Thursday and Friday, we're going to be working on getting the rest of the drywall installed, the top drywall on that top line done. And then my electrician's going to meet us down here, and we'll start pulling wire and getting the conduit hung in the basement, getting the wire all pulled through and over to the panel so he can start cleaning up that electrical panel and wiring in our outlets. And same thing for over here. We'll run conduit in the basement and get that over to the panel, then pull the wire through the conduit, get it up in this wall, put our GFCI outlet and our regular outlet in there, and that'll be done. And then our electrician can make all those nice terminations for us, and make sure it's all up to code and safe, and you know how it is. And then he can sign off on it. We should be good to go. Plumbing as well when we get to that point. So, all right, I'll keep feeding you guys every couple days. You guys can follow the progress. Thanks for watching. Hope you subscribe. I hope you like and subscribe. Later.